On December 5, 1945, 5 U.S. Navy bombers took off from Fort Lauderdale, Florida on a routine training mission. None of them came back. The rescue planes sent to find them also vanished. 6 aircraft. 27 men. Gone without a trace. On December 5, 1945, 5 U.S. Navy torpedo bombers took off from Fort Lauderdale, Florida. It was a routine training mission. The weather was clear. The pilots were experienced. The flight plan was simple: fly east, practice bombing runs, then fly back. The whole thing should have taken 2 hours. None of the 5 planes ever returned. The rescue planes sent to find them also vanished. 6 aircraft. 27 men. Gone. This incident, known as Flight 19, is the event that created the legend of the Bermuda Triangle. And the real story is stranger than the myth. The flight leader was Lieutenant Charles Taylor, a combat veteran with over 2,500 hours of flight time. He had flown this exact training route multiple times before. The 4 student pilots under his command had varying levels of experience, but all were qualified. The flight took off at 2:10 p.m. For the first 90 minutes, everything was normal. The bombers completed their practice bombing runs over a set of shallow shoals called Hens and Chickens. Then they turned north for the second leg of their route. At 3:45 p.m., Lieutenant Taylor radioed the Fort Lauderdale Tower. His message was alarming: "We cannot find west. Everything is wrong. We can't be sure of any direction. Everything looks strange, even the ocean." The tower operator asked Taylor to report his position. Taylor responded, "We seem to be over the Florida Keys, but I don't know how we got here and I don't know how to get to Fort Lauderdale." This made no sense. The Florida Keys are south of Fort Lauderdale. If Taylor was over the Keys, he had somehow flown in the opposite direction of his route. But subsequent analysis suggests Taylor was not over the Keys at all. He was likely over the Bahamas, east of Florida, and had misidentified the islands below him. Taylor's compass had malfunctioned. Both his compasses, the magnetic compass and the gyrocompass, were not working. Without a working compass, over open ocean, with the sun getting lower in the sky, Taylor had no reliable way to determine direction. What happened next was a cascade of errors driven by confusion and panic. Taylor believed he was over the Gulf of Mexico, west of Florida. Based on this incorrect belief, he turned the formation east, thinking he was heading toward land. In reality, he was already east of Florida, and his turn took the 5 planes further out into the Atlantic Ocean. The student pilots, several of whom had working compasses, reportedly suggested heading west. Taylor overruled them. He was the flight leader. His experience told him they were in the Gulf. His experience was wrong. As the sun set, communications deteriorated. Radio transmissions became fragmented. At 6:20 p.m., a shore station picked up Taylor's final transmission: "All planes close up tight. We'll have to ditch unless landfall. When the first plane drops below 10 gallons, we all go down together." That was the last anyone heard from Flight 19. At 7:27 p.m., a PBM Mariner flying boat with a crew of 13 was dispatched from the Banana River Naval Air Station to search for the missing flight. The Mariner reported in at 7:30 p.m. It was never heard from again. A tanker ship in the area, the SS Gaines Mills, reported seeing a massive explosion in the sky at approximately 7:50 p.m., followed by debris falling into the ocean. The PBM Mariner was known to have fuel leaks, earning it the nickname "the flying gas tank" among Navy crews. The most likely explanation is that fumes accumulated inside the aircraft and were ignited by a spark. The search for Flight 19 was one of the largest air and sea searches in history at that time. Over 300 aircraft and 21 ships scoured 380,000 square miles of ocean over 5 days. They found nothing. No wreckage. No oil slicks. No life rafts. No bodies. The Navy's official report concluded that the flight had become disoriented and run out of fuel over the Atlantic. The cause was listed as reasons unknown. Taylor's mother objected to any implication that her son was at fault, and the Navy eventually changed the official cause to causes or reasons unknown. The disappearance of Flight 19 became the foundational story of the Bermuda Triangle mythology. Over the following decades, writers and filmmakers added supernatural explanations, magnetic anomalies, alien abductions, underwater portals, time warps. The reality, a combination of compass failure, pilot error, and bad luck, was less exciting but far more tragic. The 5 TBM Avengers of Flight 19 are still on the bottom of the Atlantic Ocean. Despite multiple search expeditions using sonar and deep-sea submersibles, the wreckage has never been found. The ocean in that area ranges from 5,000 to 20,000 feet deep. The planes may have broken apart on impact and scattered across miles of ocean floor, buried under decades of sediment. 14 men vanished on Flight 19. 13 more vanished searching for them. 27 men, gone in a single afternoon, because one compass broke and one pilot trusted his instincts over his instruments. The Bermuda Triangle is not supernatural. It is not mysterious. It is simply a very large ocean where things go wrong and are never found. If you found this fascinating, subscribe for more stories like this. We post new videos every week.